What's up YouTube, Dan here from wargames. We're here with Joe, and Joe is bringing us an updated Ancient Gear deck. Yay! He's even got his OCG Ancient Gear sleeves.
So nice.
He's that prepared. Anyway, so...
It's all for you guys.
Without further ado, Joe, crack on with your Ancient Gear deck.
So my build is very unique to me. It's very weird. It just suits my playstyle at this current point in time, but I am trying out some new things, trying to see more combos, and I even looked into Zoo. It's that bad.
I'll go with Lithogasm before I go with Zoo.
So I'm starting off with one reactor dragon. Now this may seem very weird, but to me I feel like one's all you need to just start off the disruption and all the combos that this deck can do with it. Once you get the one out, you attack with it, pop your gear town, and then summon something else, and then just go off from there. I played two Gadgetons dragons to combo with not only the reactor play but also the trade-in, which is something I just wanted to find for the deck, which is draw power. And I thought trade-in was the best thing because the archetype does have a lot of level 8s and they're all searchable. I play the one Golem because I just like Ancient Gear Ultimate Golem too much, and Golem's actually just a really nice card. The classic of you're not doing anything when I attack and I'm going to do piercing, so just too good. And then one of the new Golems, which is Ancient Gear Golem Ultimate Pound. So what he does is that same summoning restrictions as the normal Golem and does piercing, but up to twice per turn, when this attacking card destroys a opponent's monster by battle, you can discard a machine type from your hand and it can attack again. And then if this card in the field is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add a polymerization from your deck to your hand, and if you do, add one other Ancient Gear monster from your graveyard to your hand. So it's recurrence, it's damage, it's an OTK in itself.
It's the ability to clear off like 3 monsters on your opponent's side of the board with less than 3k.
Yeah, it's just too good. And the only problem is it just can't be special summoned, but we have ways to do that anyway, so it's just too good. The one thing that I just wish that they just did is that gave it a text saying this card is always treated as Ancient Gear Golem, because then you can then make the fusion with it as well, but we all have hopes and dreams.
You can, can't you? Because it's got the name in it.
I'm not sure.
Because it's got Ancient...
It says Ancient Gear Golem and then / Ultimate Pound, / Ultimate Pound, so I'm not too sure.
Oh, what if it can make Ultimate Ancient Gear?
Yeah, Ultimate Golem.
Depends if it's like Dark Magician or... Because obviously with Dark Magician, Dark Magical Circle, it refers to the, as in the individual. Whereas with Fusions, it doesn't say like the Ancient Gear Golem plus 2 Ancient Gear monsters, it just says Ancient Gear Golem, so... You might get away with it.
Might be able to, so it's something to look into.
If you do know for sure, let us know in the comments below. Obviously, we don't know 100% sure, so we don't want to guarantee it for you guys. But on my personal opinion, I think you probably can.
Free Wyvern, Stratos of the deck. Only problem is that you can't set after you activate it, but that's no problem. Just set all your cards, activate it, and go off. Or you just like me, just play one trap in your deck, so you don't have to worry about the set. Free Hunting Hounds, burn for 600 on summon, and it's also your fusion maker, so you can just fuse from the hand or field and make your plays and just go off from there. 2 box, it's your deck fin of the deck. When it's added to your hand, that's from anywhere, whether it's from deck or grave. You can search your deck for any machine with 500 attack or defense and add it to your hand. So the one you're going to be searching is Gadget. On summon, you can declare monster, spell, or trap, and for that turn your opponent can activate cards or effects with that declared type. And that's just mostly it. Also, you can declare a Gadget name and it becomes that name for that turn. To summon a monk, I just like the ability to get to Wyvern as soon as possible, and we have tons of spells in this deck. That some of them we don't even mind having in the graveyard, so summon a monk's really nice. It's also your link maker if you want to think of it that way as well. You go monk, ditch, go to another monk, ditch, go into a Wyvern, Wyvern search, link 3 there. So nice little play there, and then max C because it's max C and it's this format. So spells and traps. 3 Catapult, you're pretty much your best spell of the deck. You can pop if you control no monsters, you can pop a card on the field and then special summon any ancient gear from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. And then from the graveyard, you can banish it, pop a card, and summon an ancient gear token. So 2 ways to pop your gear town and get your gear town special summon off. 3 gear town, speaking of. Only problem, it's not an ancient gear card, so we can't search it through Wyvern. But best field spell in the deck, when it's popped, you can special summon any ancient gear from your hand, deck, or graveyard. So you can get your reactor, you can get your Gadgeton, you can get your Wyvern, anything you want except the golems. 3 Fortress. Now this is something that I'm a bit confused with other people's profiles from just a personal point of view as to why they're only playing this at maybe 1 or 2. Because this prevents your ancient gear cards from being stopped. So while it's in play, ancient gear cards cannot be chained to or negated. And also when it's popped, you can special summon ancient gear from your hand or grave. It's just a really nice card. I like to have it free because it's my safety net of the deck. If I have this card, I can activate it and I know my catapult's going to go off, my reactor's going to go off, and all that kind of stuff. So I play 3 Fortress. I play 1 Workshop. Add an ancient gear monster from your graveyard to your hand. So if you add Box, you can get Search. Most things I add back are Wyvern and Golem. Because if I had to discard Golem for trading, I can do a fusion for an ultimate Golem. I like to play this, get Golem back and go off. 3 Terraforming to get to Gear Town, you need to get to Gear Town. 3 Trading. I have 5 targets in the deck and all of those targets are searchable, so I feel like that ratio is not a bad ratio and it works well for me. It's just your consistency you want to deck thin. And I play 4 fusion spells, 2 Power Bond, 1 Poly and an Overload. The Power Bond is because it's an OTK game maker on its own. If you get out Ultimate Golem, if you get out Chaos Giant, you're going to pretty much go for game as they both pierce.
Just a note on the Power Bond. So obviously for those of you that don't know or do know, part of Chaos Ancient Gear Giant's effect is that it's unaffected by spell and trap cards. Now what you've got to remember is, with Power Bond, it's a summoning condition that gives it the boost. So it's technically not an effect on field, it's a summoning condition.
Some people say Power Bond affects the monster before it's actually summoned. That's another way to look at it if it's easier for you. Power Bond, yeah. So
it will go up to 9k and you will burn for 4,500 at the end.
Yeah. But hopefully, with a 9k piercer who can attack everything, you should have game.
Yeah.
So 2 Power Bond, 1 Polymerization because it's now searchable through Ultimate Pound. It's just a nice way to just get a free, conditionless fusion off, go into your Howitzer for just stability. And then Overload Fusion is just like the best top deck in a deck like this. If you top deck this, you can go into Chaos Giant and then just hopefully get the game back and even maybe win. I play 1 Fusion Recycling Plant as well. It's a nice way to search a poly from either deck or graveyard if you have to. But it also keeps your hand management. Which is a problem Ancient Gear decks tend to have, is that they'll do their big play and it's really good, but they're like, all of the hand is gone. So at least with this, once you've done your fusion, you get at least one of them back. So at most you would hopefully want to get a Wyvern back to your hand, because then next turn you can summon a Wyvern and go off for more searches. But sometimes you even get like the Howitzer back, maybe even a level 8, which then next turn if you draw a trade in, you can ditch that level 8 and draw 2. So there's a lot of good uses of Fusion Recycling Plant that after you've done your Gear Town play, you can then put the Recycling Plant out and go off. And I play 1 Regeki just because you want to sometimes clear the board and just go off with a 9k to the face or 8800 to the face. And I play the 1 Lone Trap, which is Ancient Gear Reborn, searchable by Wyvern, even though you can't set it afterwards, but still point to make. But it's just a nice trap that you can set, and then you know that even if your board's going to get cleared, you can then play Reborn, get at least one of them back with a little buff, So you can even get back like your reactor dragons or your gadgeton dragons with a slight increase in attack, and the next turn you know they can attack freely because of their own effects. So Ancient Gear Reborn is really nice. Extra deck now, 3 howitzers. You can go into 3 howitzers very consistently throughout a game. It's just the easiest one to bring out. You can burn them for 1,000, it's unaffected by pretty much of everything. And then when it's destroyed, you can get an Ancient Gear from your deck. I think ignoring its summoning conditions. Yes, indeed. So you can get ultimate. You can get the golems. I played 2 ultimate golems, even though I can only really make 1 consistently, and most of the times. But I just really like this card. It's probably one of my favorite Ancient Gears from the old days, but even in the later days from the anime. It's just such a nice card. But it is just generally a strong monster. 8 if you make it with power bond, otherwise it's 44, does piercing, and if it's destroyed you can get you get the golem back. So it replaces itself, and it's just a really nice first turn boss monster I like to make. As opposed to the Chaos Giant, you kind of want to make this when you want to go for game, or just want to clear the board. 45, unaffected by spells and traps, and your opponent's monster effects are negated, and it attacks. And it just attacks everything and just does piercing. It's just a really strong card. So those are the fusions. For the XCs I play Crook to Cook. For the combos with Gear Town. Heavy Train, you can let one of your machines attack directly. It's just too good. And on Destruction, it searches a level 4 machine. Geargun X searches any machine from your deck. Diguster Emerald, get your resources back from the grave. Dark Rebellion is just a rank 4 I just always like to have. Tornado Dragon. And then the Zodiac combo of Broad Ball and Trident. But yes, that's the deck. Nothing more to say really, other than the zoo thing that I mentioned before is just because Trident is another catapult that you can use. So like you have 6 Gear Towns on your deck. If you play the zoo engine, if it's not banned or touched stupidly by an expand list, you can play 3 barrages in the deck, go for some rank 4 plays, but barrage can also trigger your Gear Towns.
Do that, zoo scum.
I know, but it's just something I looked into.
Anyway,
it's just another.
I quite like Lithogasm as well in the deck.
Lithogasm,
because they're all bar summon monk, so that's always quite good. Anyway, that is it for the Ancient Gear deck profile. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and until next time, guys, as always,
happy dueling.
If you like that video, why not check out our other videos available? We've got more deck profiles, pack openings, and of course duels. And don't forget to click on the most important button of all, that subscribe button, right in the bottom left hand corner.